Hey guys, this is just a rant, and I don't know where I'm going to go with this. I have a few themes in mind for this rant. Um, okay, I think the reason why I even thought of this is that I was eating bread that my mother bought, and this bread, right, is baked by like her friend. And so her friend is basically kind of doing a business, right? Because like you can see that the bread is made by the friend and then it's packaged in a kind of custom packaging and she's selling it. So that friend is basically doing a business, right? Selling something. And it's actually, I think it's going to be quite successful because like my mother re-bought another packet of the bread. So the first time we ate it, it was like, yeah, this is nice. And then now she repurchased, showing that it must have been a good product. So I think that person's going to be successful, right? And then I was just thinking to myself, wow, that's actually quite high risk, right? Because you got to buy the inventory, you got to buy the ingredients. And my mother said her friend went to like Taiwan to buy the red beans for the bread to put inside the bread. And so like that's quite a lot of effort, a lot of upfront effort for something that you don't really know whether it will work. And maybe this friend, was business savvy and she maybe did a sample testing first before she did all this big stuff, right? But let's say you do all that, you do all this work, you go to another country to buy the beans, and then you make the ingredients, you even custom design your packaging of your bread, and then you sell it and no one buys, barely anyone buys. Okay, so that's absolutely, I'm quite pessimistic by nature. So I would be able to see like all the ways it can go wrong, and I would that's why I was quite surprised when I saw like, oh, there's another loaf that my mother bought. It shows that this random friend who is doing a business, and is kind of in the wannabe stage, right? But it looks like there's hope for them, because I know that 99% of their ideas will fail, right? No matter what industry it is, and then I was like, okay, I'm really, that's good for her, for the friend. So what is the thing that made this friend succeed against the odds, knowing that the odds are that most businesses will fail? What made her succeed is that the bread was nice. I tasted it. The bread is nice. Basically, good product. So if your product is good, the customers actually like your product because there's a product market fit, then you're set. You don't have to worry. Even if your marketing is trash at first, it's okay, you can fix that, right? But it's very hard to fix a bad product, even if you have good marketing. So I think that's the lesson that I took from that, the bread story, is that even if you're a wannabe, even if you don't know what you're doing, as long as your product is good, you're set, you're okay, you're gonna be fine. Because your product is the firm foundation, the basis by which you build the rest of the business. So this friend, right, she can go and acquire marketing skills, she can improve her marketing, improve her pricing, whatever, and it'll be good. She's gonna be set. But if her product is trash, my mother's not gonna repurchase, no one's gonna repurchase, everyone is basically gonna get scammed, right? Because they're gonna buy hoping for something good, and then they're gonna get the disappointment because the expectations were higher than the reality, and then they're gonna feel like that was not worth their money, in other words, scam. So they're going to feel scammed, cheated of their money, and they will never come back, they'll never buy again. And stats show that like every one person who gets a bad experience will tell 11 other people. So they'll spread the negative word, hey, you see that bread, don't buy it, Yeah, so this business will crumble in a very short time because it is not getting any repeat purchases. So that is actually kind of similar to tuition, right? Because when tuition centers have a bad product, in other words, their teaching is mediocre at best, and sometimes their teaching sucks, then why would they buy again? Why would students buy again? And most of the time, they get signed up for like 1 month at least, right? Packages of 1 month. Usually people pay in a month or even longer terms, like quarterly, yearly. So let's say they sign up for 1 month and then it sucks. Why would they buy another month? Yeah? And if you give them, samples, like the food samples that they stand outside the stores and then they give the food samples for you to try. So if the food sample is like, wow, actually this is really nice, then in future you'll buy, right? You'll buy the actual ones. So the food samples are like crash courses. If we give out crash courses, but our samples are like mediocre at best, then why on earth would they want to step in a store and buy? So the samples that we give out also have to be good quality product. And actually the samples that these food stores give out are the same product, right? They're the exact same product. They just cut off a tiny piece of it and give you the tiny piece of the exact actual product. So that's why they don't have to fuss over the sample, because it's like, I already have a good product. I'm just cutting a tiny piece and letting you try the very good product. And then you like it, you'll buy the rest. So for crash courses, it's not really inventing something new. It's using how you already teach. And if your teaching is already good, your lessons are already good, then when you just simply do this for free, which is a crash course, then they'll like it. Yeah, so then here comes to my rant, right? I think a lot of tuition centers, especially the newer wannabe ones that are not as established and are usually quite small, they tend to fall into this greed trap. And yeah, I interpret it as it's out of greed. Because there are tuition centers who have like less than 50 students, 40, 30, these kind of numbers in total. And they teach multiple subjects. They teach multiple levels. So that means each level and syllabus, right, is only a few students. And they're basically spreading themselves so thin, like butter. You don't have the attention and focus and the time to make tremendously high quality resources and high quality teaching for each type of student. Because you've got so many types to do. So let me just show you an example of what I mean by having the time and the quality. So like this is all the student resources that our students get. Okay, they get notes, so you can see the notes here. Yeah, and we're actually gonna update everything. I've already updated all the way up to topic 10. So yeah, I'm getting an ex-MOE teacher to review everything, and I'm gonna pay this person as well. So you see, investing more resources and money, right? And then I'm gonna review everything and then see all the changes to make. And then after we make the changes, we're gonna print and we're gonna mail to the students. So that's how much this is like a product in itself, right? This notes is like a product in itself that I also have to maintain, update, make sure it's good, make sure formatting is good. Yeah, so like recently we went through it and they were like, we want to improve the formatting of all the memory shortcut areas. So we put this light bulb thing, this call out, yeah. So that's like a small improvement tweak to the product, right? Then I also went through and I realized some of my formatting is inconsistent for this one, the memory shortcut. So I got my assistant go through everything and then update the formatting. So it's basically another product in itself. And I have to spend time, energy, attention to make it high quality and actually useful for the student. So that actually helps them, right? So this took tons of work. And if you look at the commonly asked questions, that's me going through the past year's TYS, compiling all the commonly asked questions, and then writing as perfect model answer as possible so that the students can easily use this to study for the exam. So it's being very useful to the student. And again, this was another product in itself that I had to ask another teacher, hey, can you go through this? Can you see like which ones are actually important, which are not important? Is there any mistakes I was making? And yes, there were mistakes, so I had to fix them. So tons of work, thousands of hours into the notes. And that's just one thing, right? Okay, next we have the flashcards. So flashcards here, every topic we have. By the way, if you're a tuition center, you don't have to copy what I do. You don't have to have flashcards because I feel like this is a bio-specific thing where firstly, bio is content heavy. Memorizing is a big problem that the students want to get solved. And secondly, I believe in flashcards because I use them myself and I know they work. And that's why I made them for the students. So for example, this one, right, this topic, nervous system and the eye definitions. So yeah, that's the question and that's the answer. Okay, that's the question, that's the answer. So all this we have to manually upload inside. And where do we get the info? We get it from here. So after the syllabus review, what we're going to do is we're going to update all the flashcards and make them up to date with the content inside up to date. So that's again a lot of work, right? It's another product to maintain by itself. Okay, what's next? Yeah, we got extra practice papers. And oh yes, I think this one is a big one also. TYS answers. So the students always complain that the TYS answers in the assessment books they buy at Popular are horrible, and I agree they are horrible. It's a horrible reference material. How are they gonna study if they're using bad answers to learn from? You have to learn from good answers, not bad answers. And so we made our own, and this took a lot of time also to write. And then guess what? 2024 syllabus updated. So we had to look through all and go and change all the edits in the syllabus, every part that was outdated. Like, see this? We went through all the questions and we shaded black our syllabus from 2024. All these are our syllabus. See, all this we cancel out, our syllabus, yeah. So we show the student that, yeah, this was the answer back then, but now if you write this, it's our syllabus. So we had to go through everything. And that's, yeah, again, more work. So it's, I hope you get the picture. Okay, it's all about high quality resources so that it's actually helping the student, because our whole product, our whole service is, can you help the student score better in the subject? And I see it as two things. Help them score better, reduce their effort. Can you do that? I feel like that is the value proposition, the product. That's the point of tuition. Help them score better and understand so that they can score better in the subject, and then reduce their effort so that they don't feel like as if they are doing everything themselves. Because they, in their minds right now, it's like, okay, I know I can score higher, but I need to put in so much insane work. And they're not willing to do that. They have no time for that also. They have other subjects, they have other commitments. So they join tuition because they know that, okay, they can help me get this, but the work, right, they can help me reduce because they can show me how to study smart. They can give me the resources that I need. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. And like, I don't understand how, because there are some tuition centers that started around the same time I started. Some even started later than me. And how can they have so many different levels already at this time? Like, are they gonna have such high quality things? Absolutely not. And in fact, some of them are pre-established centers, so-called. Then I went to check their resources. Like, they gave some free notes and stuff, right? So free notes means it's like a sample of the product, because you cut a small slice and then you offer, right, free notes, sample. And then it's like absolute trash, you know. It's like the formatting's horrible, there's spelling mistakes, etc. There's problems. So if you eat the sample, then you'll be like, ugh, I don't want to come back here anymore. No thanks, you know, I don't want this product. Yeah. So I don't think that's sustainable. And I think that's hurting the students. Yeah, I think that's the biggest beef I have with this, is that it's hurting the students. And well, you know, I don't believe in karma, but what goes around comes around. And if you focus on expanding, like, why does a tuition center even focus on expanding and having so many different categories? Okay, I'll tell you why. It's greed. Okay, at least that's my perspective. Because I also was caught up in this, like, a little bit. When I started, it was just pure bio students, right? Actually, no, when I started, it was just O-level bio. Then I unknowingly had some N-level students in my class. Then I was like, wait, you're N-level? Oh, I've been teaching O-level this whole time. Oops, to you, you know? And there were some combined students also. So I was like, okay, let me try to serve both O-level pure and O-level combined bio. So I organized my lessons, right, in a way that there are certain lessons which are only pure content. So I told the combined bio students, okay, this month, that lesson is not for you. You pay one lesson less and you just don't attend that lesson. So that way I could just still be teaching one kind of class, but there were some lessons that I just dropped the combined content and only has pure content. So I was basically trying to serve two types of syllabus at once. And keep in mind, these syllabi, right, are very similar because there's huge overlaps between pure and combined. And combined is just a subset of pure, right? If a Venn diagram is a subset. And they are the same level, both Sec 4. They are both taking O level, it's just pure versus combined. So you might think that, wow, this is very easy to do, right? But no, I found out the hard way it's very challenging. And I felt very bad. I was always sacrificing one side or the other. So, like, sometimes the Kahoot, right, I couldn't test harder questions because the combined students, it would be unfair to them. Yeah, so that was horrible. I hated it. And then the next year, I just completely cut out combined. I just write there that this is only for pure bio students. I don't accept combined anymore. Yeah, so that was a very good move because now all my lessons, I know that I'm giving a good product to to the avatar, to the target avatar. I know that all my resources are good for my student, my type of student. Yeah, so I don't have any conscience hurting. And this way, it also allows me to have a lot of conviction every time I speak about this. Like I can say, I know for sure we are the best in the country for O-level pure bio tuition. So if you want to ace bio in this syllabus, if you want to ace it with least effort, okay, not say least effort, but with a significantly reduced effort, this is the best place with the best possible price already. And we have tons of testimonials to back that up. So I can say that with so much conviction because, and not like, try to psycho myself, like keep my sanity, because I know it's reality, I know it's true. So it's just as true as the sun always comes up, from east and sets in the west. Yeah. Okay, it's just as true as something like that, like the earth revolves around the sun. Just as true as that. So if you want that kind of conviction, and it's so beneficial when you have that conviction, right? Because everything you do, you will be more persuasive. Like, I read this book on sales once, and it said that sales or persuasion is the transferring of conviction, transferring of belief. So first, you as the salesperson or as the persuader, you must have absolute conviction in your product. Then you can transfer that to the customer, to the prospect. So if you know at the back of your head, and you're not a psychopath, let's say you are a human being with a conscience, and you know that your product honestly isn't that great because there's so many holes, there's so many problems, and then you're also wondering, honestly, right, why can't they go and join that other tuition center? Like, let's say you're a competitor to me, okay? And then you'd constantly be wondering, look at that bio tutor, look at all the resources, so high quality, actually helping students, look at all the tons of testimonials they have, look at all the results they can produce. So actually, every time a student comes to you, at the back of your head, you'll be like, actually, right, what's stopping them from going there? Firstly, you got worry. Okay, secondly, you'll feel like, if you charge the same price as us, right, you feel like you're scamming them. Because it's literally a better thing out there at the same price. So if you charge the same price as us, you'll feel like you're scamming your students. And so what will you do? Maybe you reduce your prices, and then it hurts your lifetime value, it hurts your revenue, and it hurts a lot of things in the business. So there's no way out. Like, if you're not the best, right, you will always feel this small voice, this conscience breaking you. And you will be like, should I even get the student to come in? Because I know that I'm not providing the best possible thing for them. So your conscience is not going to fight against you. Your subconscious is going to say, don't get the student, because it's trying to do the right thing. Don't get the student, right? Don't let them come in because they're not getting the best. But then part of you is also like, I also want to earn the money. So you want the student. Yeah, so there's this tension, and you cannot be fully focused and all in on, yes, I know we are the best, let me persuade them 100%. You can't. You can only maybe use 50% of your potential persuasiveness because internally you're conflicted. So I think anyone who does such a thing and has a conscience and is not a psychopath, they will feel to some extent this tension within them, and it will make it harder to sell. It will make you less motivated because your drive. A strong reason that we always say for what we're doing is because we want to help students. But then part of you knows that you're not actually helping them because there's some other competitor out there which actually is doing the job better. And if you charge the same price, you're basically scamming them. Because why not they go there? Yeah, and also the price of tuition, right? The fees. I think a lot of, especially newer centers, are very afraid. I mean, I was too. Very afraid to charge higher price. And they want to actually charge below market rate. Don't ever do that. If you charge below market rate, people just perceive the tuition as inferior. Don't do that. Charge at market rate, minimum. So go find out the competition, see what most are charging, most centers are charging. Charge at the market rate. Don't ever charge below. Unless you have good reasons. Like maybe you are like, oh, okay, this is the cheaper option for those who cannot afford it. So like I will reduce some of the benefits and I will give you a cheaper price. Like I'm actually thinking of holding this maybe later in the year. For those who say they can't afford, right? I'll provide a cheaper option. I'll say, okay, we'll remove some of the resources so you won't get everything. But you will still get you can only come on Zoom. It will be mass Zoom classes, very big class. Okay, and you can only come on Zoom. It's a big class like that, and you will get some of the resources, but not all. Yeah, I think that will be a good reason to charge below my usual rates. So, What was I saying? Yeah, the greed thing, right? So I think when, let's say, a lot of students in under us ask us for, do you have chem tuition recommendation? Because chemistry is quite similar, right? Like people who take bio often take chemistry. Or do you have math tuition recommendation? Do you have geography tuition recommendations? So if I wanted to be greedy, I could be like, oh, why don't I just also teach chemistry tuition? Yeah. Then see, the thing is, I will have to create all this for chemistry. No thanks. I'm not gonna do that. Like, no time for that. I really got no time for that. Okay. Like this stuff is already so difficult. Okay, maintaining all this. Oh yeah, and also our Instagram, like our social medias. You notice this? This is specific to the syllabus. This one also. These posts are specific. These memes we create are specific to the syllabus. More, okay, specific to the syllabus. This one also. Okay, this one. This one. Okay, this one not that specific because this one is just a study tip. And that's why I don't like posting that many study tips anymore, because like anyone can post it. You're not differentiating yourself. This one, okay, this one is not really. Okay, yeah, this is another. So a lot of our posts are very specific to the syllabus. So if I were to start chemistry, right, then I'm going to dilute my brand. I'm going to dilute my page. Okay, because people won't know, am I here for bio or am I here for chemistry now? So, absolutely no. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'm not gonna start a different subject. But that's what some tuitions do, and I'm like, why are you all doing that? How are you possibly spreading yourself so thin and creating high quality resources and high quality lessons? So the lesson itself is also another product. And how do we teach those lessons is also something that we have to work on. So I'll give you an example. Okay, carbon monoxide. Oh, actually it's in respiration. Okay, so let me give you an example of working on the lesson as a product to be improved. Okay, so here's an example. See, carbon monoxide, it always does that. Okay, I could teach a student like this. This is what the tuition centers who are kind of greedy, and then they maybe go and expand to bio, and they teach this. This is how they might teach. They might say, oh, by the way, carbon monoxide is one of the chemicals with negative impacts, okay, in tobacco smoke and cigarette smoke. Why? Because it binds irreversibly to hemoglobin, so that it cannot transport oxygen anymore, and then this reduces the ability of the blood to transport oxygen. Sounds so boring, right? Yeah, like that's I bet you were getting sleepy already. So that's how they will teach, probably. But what we do is, because we have been teaching only this syllabus for the past 4 years. Is it 4 years or more? Yeah, 4 years. We keep on finding new ways to teach it better. So example, what red blood cells. Red blood cells contain the hemoglobin, right? So I would say to the students, red blood cell is like an MRT train. Inside the MRT, there's a lot of seats for people to sit down, right? So the seats are hemoglobin. And the people are oxygen who are trying to sit down on the seats. So, yeah, most of the time it's all good. People can sit on the seat and then they can get off then that's like releasing the oxygen to the cells. But carbon monoxide is like this big, disgusting chewing gum that, is trash chewing gum, okay? And it gets stuck to the seats. So now when it's there on the seat, a person cannot sit down. So oxygen cannot bind to the hemoglobin, cannot be transported. So now this MRT transports fewer people because some of the seats have the chewing gum that is stuck there forever and it's not going to leave. Yeah, and so that way, you can see how it reduces the ability of this MRT to transport people, right? So that's why it reduces the ability of blood to transport oxygen. So there's so many benefits to teaching this way by this analogy, is that it's relatable, it's more interesting, it's more engaging, understandable also, much easier to understand, and actually sticks in their head. So this kind of thing, how do you do this for so many parts of the syllabus? It's through lots and lots of repetition and improvement, small improvement. Working on the same thing. Focus, basically. Focus. So I don't think other centers can do this. And that's why if they try to compete for O-level pure bio, we're always going to be ahead. Okay, that's my goal, to always be ahead in any syllabus I teach, in any subjects that we're only going to do bio. So any levels. Like in future, we will do Sec 3, which is the same level, which is why it's quite easy to expand to. And then in future, we're going to do JC, A level. And that one will be, that's going to be very hard because we have to build all this for them. And then there's going to be problems. You're going to have to fix the problems. And we're going to have to keep updating and improving the lessons. So that's my rant of, it's very, and Hormozy always says this, right? You realize that to truly build something good, you need so much focus, time, and attention. And therefore, you realize that you can only do so few things in this life. That if I wanted to do, to build a really good O-level pure bio tuition, I have to say no to everything else and just focus on it for years. So yeah, that's my rant. I think greed is the reason that people expand, because it's like, easy money. One of my students wants another subject. People are asking me for another level. Okay, let me just open it so that I can get more students. Yeah, sure. You get more students in the short run, but then in the long run, it's not scalable. You just make yourself go insane because you have to, so many syllabus and so many things to update. You can outsource it. You can delegate. Okay, you go and update the notes for me. Okay, but then you cannot control the quality to be high anymore. And it's gonna not be standardized quality. Yeah, and then you can't control the lessons as well. The quality also drops. Okay, so that's why I think it's due to greed. People start off with like, hey, why not? There's people asking me. Okay, then you just take money from whoever says they want to have tuition. Then in the long run, you just suffer. But so for context, after we dropped the O-level combined and we just focused on pure bio, the next year, right, we had 50 students. So the current year with the O-level combined, I had 25 pure, I had 5 O-level combined. Yeah, only 3, and those 3, nothing against them, I love those students, but those 3 gave me a huge headache because I was trying to serve both. So 25 and 3. The next year we dropped it, right? We got 50. Then the next year after that, which was 2024, we got 105. And this year, my aim is 250. And it's all just O-level pure bio. So it's so simple, right? It's more scalable. It's simple, simplified. All the resources are the same. All the lessons are also almost the same. And I can truly make each lesson good. I can rehearse for the lesson. Like, actually, I got to rehearse for my lesson tonight, so I got to go soon. Yeah, so we can spend that much time, effort into each lesson because it's all for the same type of student. So it's very scalable. Simplifies everything. And all our marketing is also straightforward. It's always towards the same Sec 3 or 4 O-level pure bio students. Always that's the line in our marketing. In future, when we expand, then we will need to tweak that. But for now, we're just going to keep it that way. So everything you see, the social medias also say the same thing. Website also says the same thing. So it's very, very targeted and simple. Simple is the main benefit of this. It's just simple. Yeah, so that's my rant. I feel like tuition centers should specialize, should niche down to actually be... Okay, you know what? I want to add one more thing to my rant. Okay, let me find it. Okay, look at this. Okay, see? So I was making this video and I was showing students that, hey, by the way, in this topic, transport and humans, describe and explain questions, you need to talk about the blood pressure changes. Okay, but then if it's just a describe question with the same concept, right? Same about like blood pumping around the body. You don't need to talk about blood pressure anymore in the answer. So this is a small nuance that I also didn't know until later when I had some MOE bio teacher contact and then I asked him about this and then he told me and then I learned about this. So how do you learn about all these small little things in the syllabus? All these small nuances? And the answer is you go to a specialist tuition center. Yeah, so that's why I think specializing is so important. Because how on earth will you learn and find out all these nuances? Like if you're teaching only 90% accurate to the syllabus, then the best your students can score is 90% of the exam, right? So you're significantly hurting them. You have to teach as close to perfect accuracy to syllabus, as close to 100%, so that when the students learn from you, their potential also is as high as possible. Yeah, actually, the sad thing is that even MOE schools, even MOE bio teachers, do not teach to 100% accuracy because some schools are teaching some wrong things also. Some of them are forgetting to teach certain parts of the syllabus. So maybe it's like 95%. But what we want to do is we want to push it to as close as 100%. So I feel like now we might be at 99%, 98, 99%. And that's why we're doing the syllabus review, so that we can push it again closer and closer to 100%. Yeah, so that's it for my rant. Start as a niche and then expand out.